So this week's Torah portion is Parashat Reh'eh. Going to begin by saying this blessing. You can repeat it after me if you would like. Yehi Ratzon
יהי רצון
milfanecha
מלפניך,
Adonai Elohai
אדוני אלוהי,
shelo ekoshel
שלא אכשל
bidvar halakha
מדבר הלכה,
shelo omar
שלא אומר
al tameh
על טומא
tahor tahor
טהור,
وعal tahor
ועל טהור
tameh
טומא,
وعal mutar
ועל מטור
asur
אסור,
al asur
על אסור
mutar
מותר,
al ekashel ekashel
אכשל
bidvar halakha
בדבר הלכה,
veyismehu
וישמחו
bi
בי
haverai
חברי,
ve'al yikashelu
ואל יכשלו
haverai
חברי
bidvar halakha
בדבר הלכה,
ve'esmach bahem.
וישמח בהם.
All right, very good. I'm going to say it one more time quickly, okay? יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהי, שלא אכשל בדבר הלכה, שלא אומר על טמא טהור, ועל טהור טמא, ועל מותר אסור, ועל אסור מותר, ועל אכשל בדבר הלכה, וישמחו בי חברי, ואל יכשלו חברי בדבר הלכה, ואשמח בהם. May it be your will, O Lord, my God, that I not make error in a matter of halakha, that I will not say regarding something that is impure, that it's pure, and that I will not say regarding something that's pure, that it is impure, or that I would say that something which is forbidden is permitted, and that I will not say that something that's forbidden, or that I will not say that something that is permitted is forbidden, or the other way around, and that I will not stumble in a matter of halakha, but that my fellow friends will rejoice with me, and they too will not stumble in a matter of halakha, and we will rejoice together, and I will rejoice with them. All right. We are on the Torah reading, Parashat Reh'eh, Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26, through Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 17. All right, so you guys can repeat after me. Reh'eh Anochi noten lifnechem hayom beracha uklala uklala. All right, does anyone want to help us with reading?
Shalom, Rabbi.
Shalom uvracha, how are you?
Fine.
השתבח שמו. אתה רוצה לעזור לי? You want to help me? אתה רוצה לעזור לי לקרוא? To read?
So, can I read?
Yes, sir. בבקשה.
Oh, Toda. ראה אנוכי נותן לפניכם היום ברכה וקללה.
Beautiful. All right, sir. So let's get a little more detailed because you read that very fluently. So we're gonna focus on some details that maybe we do not normally focus on. All right. Do you see this word?
Yes.
All right. Can you say the word for us?
What, Rabbi?
Can you say this word that I highlighted for us?
Yeah. Anochi.
All right, great. Okay, you've pronounced every letter and vowel correctly. So we need to know which part of the word to emphasize more. And now, do you see this little line going up and down underneath the letter Aleph?
Yes.
So that tells us we want to emphasize this syllable. So instead of Anochi, we would say Anochi, Anochi. This little line that's going up and down, it tells us to pronounce the vowel here a little bit longer than the other vowels. All right, so let's read it again. And you will see this in many words, under many words. Like you have it here, you have it here, you have it here. All right, so you want to keep your eye open for that. All right, let's read it again. It sounds very windy. You there, Mr. Yosef?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, let's read it again.
Which one? Anochi?
Yes, sir.
Anochi.
Okay, can you say in your own words, what is this little thing that goes up and down? What does it do? Its name is meteg, by the way.
Metek.
Yeah, what does meteg do? The line that goes up and down under the aleph.
Yeah.
What is its purpose?
It emphasizes on a syllable, and we have to pronounce it as a long.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's only in reference to the vowel of the syllable, right? It only affects the vowel. All right, so because this meteg is next to the kamats under the aleph, should we read this anochi or anochi?
Anochi.
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 Yeah, we want to emphasize this vowel. Anochi. All right, so let's read the pasuk. Let's read the verse again. Can you read the verse again?
Are you telling me, Rabbi?
Yes, sir. Please read the verse again.
Okay. ראה אנוכי נותן לפניכם היום ברכה וקללה.
All right. Let's do it one more time and elongate this aleph a little bit more. Reh'eh anochi. Reh'eh anochi.
Anochi.
Yes, sir. Let's do it again. Like that.
Anochi.
Correct. Now let's read the whole pasuk, the whole verse again.
What?
Can you read the verse again?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. ראה אנוכי נותן לפניכם.
Anochi.
אנוכי.
Yeah.
ראה אנוכי נותן לפניכם היום ברכה וקללה.
All right. That was beautiful. Let's do it one more time, okay? One more time.
ראה אנוכי.
You got it.
ראה אנוכי נותן לפניכם היום ברכה וקללה.
All right. And what's the name of this little symbol again?
Metek.
Yes, sir. Okay, bo. Pasuk haba. Et ha-baracha. I know you can read through it more quickly, but we're doing it for everybody because it's recorded. All right. So first we're going to go through it together, then you can read it by yourself. Beseder?
תודה, תודה.
All right. Et haberacha.
את הברכה
Asher
אשר
tishma'u.
תשמעו
El misvot.
אל מצוות
Adonai Elohechem.
Shalom, shalom.
אדוני אלוהיכם
Asher
אשר
Onuchi.
אנוכי
Mitzaveh
מצווה
etchem
אתכם
hayom.
היום.
All right, your turn. Tur shelcha, your turn. Now keep your eye open for the meteg.
אוקיי. אל מצוות אדוני אלוהיכם אשר אנוכי.
Let's start up here.
Oh, sorry. את הברכה אשר תשמעו אל מצוות אדוני אלוהיכם אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם היום.
Asher Onuchi.
אשר אנוכי מצוות אתכם היום.
All right. Pasuk haba. Do we have a new victim who wants to do it the next time? I think we had a new person come in.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, now everybody's coming. All right, you can help me continue to do the repeating, and then maybe we'll have a new person read this next pasuk. It's a big pasuk.
Okay.
All right. Ve-ha-ke-la-la. Ve-ha-ke-la-la.
Lala.
All right, now if whoever's listening, because it's recorded, when I'm reading, I'm using the more mainstream pronunciation, but the mainstream pronunciation is not the historically accurate pronunciation. It's not the classical pronunciation. But our friend Mr. Yosef, who's helping us read this pasuk, he's using closer to a classical pronunciation. That's why I'm reading this as a V, like the word very, and he's reading it like the letter Y in the word Y, because the Vav in ancient times was pronounced like a W. So that's why it's a difference. All right. And it's good to learn both, to learn the mainstream way people pronounce and to know the classical way. All right. Ve-ha-ke-la-la.
Ve-ha-ke-la-la.
Im-lo.
Im-lo.
All right. Tishma'u.
Tishma'u.
El-misvot.
El-mizvot.
Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem.
All right, let's try to be careful to not make our aleph like an ayin. Ve-sartem.
Okay. Shall I ask one question?
Sure, of course.
Okay, yes. So when we read Tanakh, so this metok and so many signs are not mentioned there.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yes, I'm just telling that when we read Tanakh.
Yes.
So when we read Tanakh, so these metek or
meteg, okay. Meteg.
Yeah. Metek and so many signs which we are seeing in this text,
okay,
which are now we are reading. So these signs are not found in Tanakh.
In most publications, you should be able to see the ta'amim. Yeah, I'm not sure what text you use, what publication you're using.
Yes, I'm using JPS.
Interesting.
Jewish. Yes, GPS.
I will check that for you after the lesson. But
Yeah.
most people, most versions that are published around the world do have it.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Vesartem
Sartem
min ha-derech. Min ha-derech.
min ha-derech.
All right. Asher
Asher
onechi
Anochi
mesave.
Mesaweh.
All right, and because you're using a more accurate pronunciation, you see how there's a dagesh, a dot inside of this vav.
Yeah.
So that means if you're doing the classical pronunciation, not the mainstream, then this dot is telling you that you do not want to only say misaweh. You don't only say misaweh, but you want to double this W sound. So it's misaweh. It's like you hold it a little longer. Misaweh.
Misaweh.
Yeah.
Misaweh. Misaweh.
That's
Okay.
it. It's like hard, like
Interesting.
more emphasized. Etchem.
Etchem.
All right, and you'll see the dagesh here also in the yud. So normal pronunciation, more mainstream, would just be hayom, but you're going to say hayom, hayom. You hit that yud hard. Hayom.
Yeah. Hayom.
Got it.
Hayom.
Nachon. Correct. La lechet.
La lechet.
Ahare.
Achere.
All right, and why are we saying ahare?
Because metek is there.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Elohim.
Elohim.
Aharim.
Aharim.
Asher.
Asher.
Lo yeda'tem. Yeda'tem.
Lo yeda'tem.
All right. Okay, do we have a new volunteer to help us read this pasuk, this verse? Going once, going twice, going back to Mr. Yosef Hatzadik.
Toda. So shall I read?
Yes, sir, please. Let's break it up pieces. So read to this mark.
Okay. From where?
From
I'm starting.
the beginning of the halakha.
وحق لالا إم لو تشمعوا المسوود أدوناي إلهيكم وسرتم من هدريخ عشير آنوخي مسوه إتخم هيوم.
All right, let's pause. Okay. I noticed you did the metek beautifully. Elohechem, beautiful. Now, the same thing that the metek does, also the ta'amim, they do. The cantillation marks also do. So, for example, if you have a cantillation mark here over the dalid, so that's telling us instead of haderech, it's haderech. Haderech. This cantillation mark is telling us emphasize this syllable. The difference between the cantillation mark and the metek is that the only thing metek does is it tells you which syllable to emphasize. Cantillation mark, it tells you what, it tells you kind of like punctuation. Is there like a comma after this word, or do you just keep flying through the verse? But it also tells you about which syllable to emphasize, and it also tells you about what style of melody or singing you should do.
Yeah.
So when you
Rabbi?
see, yes, sir.
Yes. Is there a difference between both the signs, Chet and Shava? And I see this. What is cancellation or consolation?
And
upon
T is in
upon Dalit.
right here.
Yes.
I'm not sure what your question is, but that is a
Yes.
cantillation mark.
It-
T is in toy.
it is similar to Shiva.
It looks like a Shema, but it's not a Shema.
Okay. That is the confusion.
Yeah, Shema will always be underneath in the standard publications.
Yeah.
All right, so you can imagine if you see a cantillation mark, a musical note indicator, over some letter or under a letter in a word, you can know that that's acting kind of like a metek. So instead of reading this haderech, the cantillation mark is telling us, no, emphasize the syllable, the vowel of the dalet. Haderech. Right? Yeah, so I want you to read again. I want you to read just this part in the blue.
Okay.
You start at Vasartem and stop at this blue.
Okay. Vesartem.
Vasartem. Vasartem.
Vesartem. 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 And
Continue.
ahead?
Yes,
Okay.
continue to that blue mark.
Vesartem min haderech. Min haderech. Min haderech. Min haderech.
All right, good. Let's do it from the beginning again.
Oh.
Vesartem.
Vesartem min haderech.
Beautiful. All right, continue.
Okay. From Vesartem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vesartem min haderech. Vesartem min haderech.
Continue.
Okay. Vesartem min haderech. Vesartem min haderech.
No, continue reading the whole verse.
Okay. Vesartem min haderech asher anochi misu. Okay. How we can read it? Misaweh.
Misaweh. Yes, sir.
Misaweh. Like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vesartem min haderech asher anochi misaweh. Etchem hayom.
All right.
Hayom.
Beautiful.
Okay. Lalechet.
Because you see over the lamed.
Oh yeah. So what is this upon the lamed?
Over the lamed is called a rabia, at least in the Temani tradition.
Okay.
But I don't encourage in our class to learn the names of them. We just need to learn the basic function.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give too much all at once in one class.
It may be it is difficult for the people who don't know, no?
Yeah, first people need to know how to read the letters and the vowels.
Yeah. But it is good for me. It is very, very nice things you teaching us, brother.
Baruch Hashem.
Yeah. So can I read?
Yes, sir. B'chavod. Go ahead. B'chavod.
From Vesaratim?
Let's do the whole pasuk. And I want you to notice where all the cantillation marks are and what syllable to accent.
Okay. وهكذا إملو تشمعوا المسوot أدوناي إلهيكم Elohechem. Not Elohechem. Elohechem. Not
I'm sorry, Elohechem. It's just this one. It's not every appearance of the word. But if you see a meteg, you need to emphasize that vowel of that letter.
Like this.
Elohechem. Yes.
Elohechem.
But you don't really want to say hey, just hey.
Okay.
Elohechem.
Elohechem.
Got it.
Okay. Elohechem.
Got it.
Okay. وحق لا إملو تشمعوا المسوot أدوناي إلهيكم وصرتم من هادرخ أشير أنوخي من هادرخ أشير أنوخي Asher Anochi. Anochi.
Yes.
Like this?
Yes, sir.
Anochi.
And you
Mesoweh.
understand why, Nafon? Correct? You understand why,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
This is the metic.
Okay. Metek. Because of Metek. Yeah.
Correct. Let's do it again from the
Anochi.
beginning. From the beginning.
Okay. وحق للا املو تشمعوا المتصوت أدوناي إلهيكم وصرتم من هادرخ
Min
من
haderech.
هديرخ من هديرخ أشير أنوخي مسوائتكم هيوم للخيت أخري إلهيم أخرين
Lalechet.
للخت أخري إلهي.
Hare.
Okay.
And you know you read well. You're just bringing...
I'm always using khet as a khet and he as a he.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not trying to correct you on that.
Temani is different, no?
Yeah, I'm just trying to help you with the
Yeah.
accent.
It is nice, brother. It is.
And you know you read really well. We're just trying to make you get more advanced.
Yeah. Thank you for this. So from where I read again?
Let's do it one more time, and then we will move on to the laws of. We will do read one of the mitzvot, one of the 613 mitzvot, and then the laws of Shema. So you'll just read through this one more time.
Okay. وحق لالا املو تشمو المزوت أدوناي إلهيكم وصرتم منها ديرخ. Like this?
Beautiful.
منها ديرخ أشير أنوخي متسوائتكم هيوم
Misaweh.
للخيت أخري إلهيم
Hold
أخرين.
on. Asher Anochi Misaweh.
مسوه.
Yeah.
مسوه.
You got it.
مسوه.
All right, now you have two more coming up. This one is accented and this one's accented.
Yeah. Okay. هيوم للخيت أخري إلهيم أخرين. للخت. Okay. So why we say للخت? Why?
Because you have a ta'am, you have a cantillation mark over this syllable.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Any cantillation mark over a syllable, it's like a metic.
Oh, okay. It is similar to metek.
Correct. Only it does other things also. So it's like a metic, but with more meaning than the metic.
Okay. It's like chanting, no? Chanting.
It does chanting. It's also like for punctuation, but it also tells you which syllable, which part of the word accent.
Okay.
Lalechet.
هيوم للخت أخري. أحري.
Right. And this one should never be accented because it has a Shava. A syllable with a Shava is never accented. Ever, never, ever.
So we can't spell this word as أخري.
You can say ahare. You can.
Yeah. But in Temani dialect.
Temani, it's not ahare. It's ahare. The het is a ha.
Like Arabic.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Ahari.
Correct. But in the mainstream pronunciation, they pronounce the chet like a chaf. They pronounce them the same. But the more accurate, they pronounce cha like they pronounce chet like a chaf. But the more accurate pronunciation is that het, it's from your throat, not from the roof of your mouth. Chaf, this letter right here, this letter is produced by friction between the back of your tongue and the roof of your mouth. There's friction there. There's contact. But with het, there's no contact with the roof of your mouth. Your tongue does not touch the roof of the mouth. There's a difference in the position of your tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, let's I will just tell you guys a few words here that are very common. Noten means to give or a giver, right? Yom is day. Baracha is a blessing. Halakha is a curse. So you guys can write these words down if you don't know them already.
Baracha u qalala. Baracha u qalala. Here we see Matek also mentioned here, no?
Yes, correct.
Beneath, yes. So how we can pronounce it?
Uqlala. Metek just means accent, that syllable.
Okay.
Syllable just means part of a word. Uqlala.
Uqlala. Uqlala.
Correct. Now we also have the word asher. Asher just means that, which, or who.
Yeah.
And we have the word anochi. Anochi is just another way of saying ani.
Oh, nochi.
Correct. Anochi. All right, let's go to the mitzvot. This is Sefer ha-Miswoth. It's a summary of Mr. Yosef, I'm gonna mute your audio because there's a lot of background. All right, who would like to read for us this mitzvah of the 613 mitzvot? We're on the third mitzvah. Mr. Yosef, you can read for us if you would like. I don't know if there's any other volunteer.
Okay, thank you. Toda.
I think everyone is very shy today.
Yes, maybe. So, shall I read?
Yes, sir. B'chavod. B'chavod means it's a polite way of saying you may go ahead. Feel free. B'chavod.
Okay. In WhatsApp, you send these words, brother.
What's that? Oh, in WhatsApp? Sure, I will.
Yeah. Thank you, Toda. The third mitzvah is that we are commanded to love God, exalted be He. That to meditate upon and closely examine His mitzvahs, His commandments, and His works in order to understand Him. And through this understanding to achieve a feeling of ecstasy. This
that means
is the
great
goal
joy.
Of
ecstasy is great joy, intense
yeah.
joy.
Thanks. This is the goal of the commandment to love God. We can
that
see
means
that
the commandment to love God, it's also a commandment to feel great joy. They come together, right?
Yeah.
Because through loving Him, we get great joy.
We can see that meditation is the way to create this feeling of love. From the Sefer, from the statement, Sefer, yeah. From the statement, you shall love God your Lord. Can I know how to love God? The Torah therefore says, and these words which I command you today shall be upon your heart. That through this meditation about His commandments, you will understand the nature of the one who spoke, and thereby brought the world into being.
All right, let's have a pause and Miss Elisheva, I think she reads sometimes. Afisa Elisheva.
Yes, she's my daughter.
Oh, really? Does she read sometimes?
Yes.
Would she like to read maybe just this paragraph? All right, you can go ahead. No big deal.
Oh.
Shall I read?
Absolutely.
From this, it is clear to that meditation will lead to understanding, and then a feeling of enjoyment and love will follow automatically, since the second verse explains the way to reach the goal of the previous verse. Our sages also said that This mitzvah includes calling out the mankind to serve God, exalted be He, and the believe in Him. This is because when you love a person, for example, you praise him and call out to other to draw close to him. So too, if you truly love God through your understanding and realization of his true existence, you will certainly spread this true knowledge that you know to ignorant and the foolish.
Okay, let's look at this. This is a very big thing. This is saying that part of the mitzvah to love God includes that we will want to draw other people, to bring other people near to God, to serve God and believe in Him. So this is part of the 613 mitzvot. And maybe it's not a surprise to some people, but for people who grew up in the Jewish religious establishment, who are just used to what is normal in the Jewish world, they would be very shocked by this. And the reason is because even though the Rambam knew this, and he's a majorly respected rabbi in the Jewish world, who lived about 804 years ago, even though he wrote about this and knew about it, but most religious Jews do not know about this. They think it only applies to other Jews. But actually it applies to all mankind. It applies to the entire world, that if we love God, we want the entire world to come to know how great God is. And the reason that this is sort of lost, this understanding has been kind of lost to the Jewish world, it's because, yes, originally the Jewish people would try to draw other people toward God. But once Islam and Christianity got so big that they took control of governments, then in Europe, the Christian governments did not allow Jews to share their faith. And in Islamic countries, the Islamic governments did not allow Jews to share their faith. So for almost 2,000 years, the Jewish people have not been allowed to share their faith. And what happened as a result of this is that most of the regular Jewish people who do not study enough, they begin to think, oh, because we are not sharing our faith, because we're not allowed to by the non-Jewish government, right? Then the Jewish people could not openly share their faith, because if they did, then the non-Jewish government would persecute them. They would cause a lot of suffering for the community or even kill Jewish people. So we suspended this part of the commandment. So it's still a part of the commandment, but we suspended it until we'd be allowed to do it without risking death or murder of the whole community. So that's the reason. But it's important to remember this, because many people think, oh, we Jews, we don't share our faith with other people, but that's not true. In history, the last 2,000 years, we did not share our faith with other people, but this was not because of our religion. It was because we were not allowed to by the secular or the non-Jewish government, right? So let's continue. Would you like to summarize what we just said? Can someone summarize what we just said in your own words? Hello, hello.
Hello, Rabbi. Repeat again.
This paragraph tells us that it is a mitzvah to share knowledge of God with all mankind, that we should bring all mankind to serve God and believe in Him. This is part of the commandment to love God. And we discussed how many Jews do not know that this is part of the commandment because they do not study enough, and because the Jewish people did not do this for almost 2,000 years. But the reason we did not do it is because we were not allowed to by the non-Jewish government. And the reason we did not do it is not because it's not part of the Torah. It is part of the Torah to share the love of God with all people. Can you summarize it in your own words?
I think this is the reason so many people don't know about Judaism.
Exactly.
Yes, this is the reason.
Exactly. Okay, let's read.
People-
Let's finish up this one and go on to the laws of Shema. Would you like to read to the end? B'chavod.
Yes. Can I read or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. B'chavod. Please go ahead.
We see that this mitzvah includes spreading love for God to others from the Sefer. You shall love God, that make him beloved among the creatures, as your father Abraham did. As it is written, the souls that he made in Haran. The meaning of this Sefer, Abraham, as a result of his deep understanding of God, acquired love for God. As the verse testifies, Abraham who loved me. This powerful love therefore caused him to call out to all mankind to believe in God. So too, you shall love him to the extent that you draw others to him.
Very big. Okay. Kol hakavod. Tizku la-mitzvot.
Toda.
All right. Toda. All right. So, chapter 2 of the laws of Shema, number 12. B'chavod. You can go ahead and read.
Okay. If one reads intermittently, he fulfills his obligation, even if he pauses between each reading an amount of time sufficient to complete the entire Kriyat Shema. This refers to the one who recites in it in order. If one recites it while drowsy, that not fully awake, but not fast asleep, he fulfills his obligation, as long as he was fully awake while reciting the first verse.
Beautiful. Halakha 13. We have a few new people. Does anyone want to read halakha 13 for us?
One who is unsure whether or not he recited the Shema should recite it with the blessing before and after it. However, if he is sure that he recited the Shema, but it is in doubt regarding whether he recited the blessing before and after it, he needs not recite the blessing again.
All right. Let's continue. One more paragraph here.
A person who made a mistake while reciting the Shema should return to the point of his mistake. If one becomes confused and forgets which section he has just completed, he should return to the first section, that is, and you shall love God your Lord.
Okay. Yosef, would you like to continue halakha 14 or anyone else?
Shall I read?
B'chavod. Please.
A person who errs in the middle of a section and is unaware of where he paused should return to the beginning of that section. One who recited O Chotabatem but does not know whether or not he recited O Chotabatem of the section of Shema or of
Uchtabtem. I'm sorry, Uchtabtam.
Yeah. Or of the section of Adonai Im Shemua. And if you shall listen, should return to Uchotavatam of Shema. However, if his doubt arises only after have recited yirbu yamechem, sorry, lema'an yirbu yamechem, in order that your days be multiplied. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 21. He need to return because we assume he
need
has
not.
recited.
Right. He does not need to.
Oh, he has recited in accordance with the natural pattern of his speech.
Right. So the natural pattern of his speech is referring to the fact that if you say something enough frequently, like every day, like we do with the Shema, then your tongue almost has its own memory so that it's moving even if you're not thinking about it. It's kind of like a song. If you know a song, the words just kind of come out easily. You don't even have to think about it. That's what it's referring to. Okay. Would someone else like to read halakha 15? Halakha 15?
Shall
B'chavod.
I read?
Yes, ma'am, please. B'chavod.
The following rules apply when one encounters other people or is approached by them while reciting the Shema. If he is between section, he should stop and greet those he is obligated to honor. Example, his father, his teacher, or anyone greater than he is learning. He may return to the greeting of any person who intends the
Initiates.
initiates the friendly exchange.
תודה רבה. תזכו למצוות.
תזכו לעשות.
Okay, halakha 16. Halakha 16.
Who is reading?
You.
Oh. Toda. If one is in the middle of a section, he may stop and initiate an exchange of greetings only with someone of whom he is afraid. Example, a king or tyrant. However, he may return the greetings of those he is obligated to honor. Example, his father or his teacher.
Okay. Let's see, how much more do we go? One more, and then we will be on chapter 3. So, one more. Anyone new? Anybody want to read the last halakha of chapter 2, laws of Shema?
Shall I continue?
Bevakasha, b'chavod.
These are the intervals between the sections, between the first blessing and the second, between the second blessing and Shema, between the first and second sections of Kriyat Shema, between the second and third sections of Kriyat Shema. Between these sections, one initiates an exchange with one whom it is his duty to honor and responds to the greetings of anyone. However, the interval between the end of the third section of Kriyat Shema and the paragraph beginning with Emet ve Yadziv is considered the middle of a section, and one may interrupt only to greet one of whom one is afraid, or to respond to the greetings of someone one is obligated to honor.
So, for example, if your wife wants to know exactly what you want for dinner, and she's very, very busy, and the children are crying, and you're at this place, and she asks you, if you're afraid, maybe you can answer her. It depends on the person. Sometimes it might be scary. Okay, that was supposed to be funny, but it was not so funny. I will just laugh alone. Let's go to Hilkhoth Deh'oth, number 4. I think the men are afraid to laugh because the wives may be standing next to them. Okay. Who wants to read Hilkhoth Deh'oth, chapter 1, halakha 4? Hello, hello.
Yes, can I read?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Toda. The straight path that involves discovering the midpoint temperament of each and every trait that man possesses within his personality. This refers to the trait which is equidistant from either of the extremes without being close to either of them. Therefore, Therefore, the early sages instructed a man to evaluate his traits, to calculate them, and to direct them along the middle path so that he will be sound of body. For example, he should not be wrathful, easily angered, nor be like the dead without feeling. Rather, he should adopt an intermediate course, that he should display anger only when the matter is serious enough to warrant it, in order to prevent the matter from recurring. Similarly, he should not desire anything other than that which the body needs and cannot exist without, as Proverbs chapter 13, verse 25 states. The righteous man eats to satisfy his soul.
So the Rambam is talking here. The Rambam's talking about the ideal person. It's not saying, he's not saying if you have not reached this level that you are like breaking a mitzvah or something. But this is an ideal level to be of a like a very righteous person.
Continue.
So it's what we should aim for, but it's. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, he shall not labor in his business except to gain what he needs for immediate use, as Psalm 37, chapter 37, verse 16 states. A little is good for the righteous man. He should not be overly stingy, nor spread his money about, but he should give charity according to his capacity and lend to the needy as is fitting. He should not be overly elated and laugh excessively, nor be sad and depressed in spirit. Rather, he should be quietly happy at all times, with a friendly countenance. The same applies with regard to his other traits. This path is the path of the wise. Every man whose traits are intermediate and equally balanced can be called a wise man.
Hacham. Let's say Hacham.
Hacham, yeah. Thank you.
So it's very interesting that, in the mainstream Jewish world, they call a Hacham someone who knows a lot of Torah, a lot of halakha. The Rambam writes that it's not enough that you have a lot of knowledge. You could be a quote unquote Hacham, a wise man, if you know a lot of halakha and Torah, but that would only be in the language of the masses, in the opinion of the mass of different people who haven't learned much. What the Rambam is saying is that, yes, you should know a lot of Torah, but if you know a lot of Torah, a lot of halakha, but it has not corrected your character traits, if your actual behavior and your personality has not been healed, then you're not really a Hacham, even if you know a lot of information about the Torah. If you are not a kind person, if you do not have balanced intermediate character traits, then you're still not a Hacham, even though you know a lot of Torah. So in the understanding of the Rambam, in his understanding of Torah, you are not a Hacham unless you have a good balance of character. You cannot separate good character from proper understanding of Torah. All right. I think this is a good place to stop for today. So next week we will continue on chapter 1, halakha 5. Does anyone have any questions about anything? no one has any questions, then we will conclude our lesson. Whoever is in a rush can go ahead and take care of whatever you need to take care of. We're going to say this prayer after we finished and are leaving a house of study, because this is our digital house of study. All right. If anybody wants to repeat after me, you can repeat after me. Modeh ani lefanecha, Adonai Elohai, shesamta halqi mi yoshve beth ha-Midrash, velo samta halqi mi yoshve qaranoth, she'ani mashkim وهم مشكيمين أني مشكيم لدبري تورا وهم مشكيمين لدوارين بطالين أني عمال وهم عملين أني عمال ومقبل صخور وهم عملين وإن مقبلين صخور أني رص وهم رصين أني رص لحياه هعلام هبا وهم رصين لبئر شاحث. We're grateful before you, O Lord our God, who has placed our portion among those who dwell in the houses of study. And you have not placed our portion among those who sit idly on the street corners. We arise and they arise early. We rise early to your words of Torah, and they rise early to empty matters. We toil, we work hard, and they also work hard. We work hard and we receive a reward, and they work hard and they don't receive a reward. We run and they run. We're in a hurry and they're in a hurry. We run to life everlasting, and they run to a pit of destruction. So Lord, may from our great love for you seek to draw all men to your great name. Shabbat shalom to everybody. Have a great Shabbat. And until next time, Yivarechechem Hashem v'yishmerechem. God bless you and keep you. Shalom uvracha.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.